Hello, guys. Lone Wild Church here. Here we are doing our basic mystic musings for the week of 7/13 through the 20th. Make sure you check out my astro forecast. I'll make sure I put that in the link below for the week. We're going to keep this pretty easy and basic. I'm trying to heal my channel this week, so I'm keeping it pretty chill this week. So let's go ahead and drop in. So like usual, pick the card you want for the week. All right. Is it the left? Is it the center? Is it the right? Now, the question this week is a little different because the question this week is, what is my Mercury, or sorry, not your Mercury. What is my Chiron retrograde about? Okay. So Chiron retrogrades once a year, and it's about 5 or 6 months, and it is a huge focus of healing. All right. So this is a very big message. And, it goes into some of the bigger aspects that we are experiencing this week. They aren't like Mercury retrograde, where it's like directly right in front of your face for like 3 to 5 weeks. We're talking about a long-term healing situation. And because the sun is going to oppose the confluence of planets in Capricorn all retrograde, we're talking about major internal healing, all right? Major internal healing. So we are going to do a long vision reading versus like a predictive reading. If you want to hear more about why that is, check out my astro forecast for the week in the link box below or on my Patreon or Instagram. All right, let's go ahead and drop in. So what is my message for Chiron retrograde? Left, center, right. Today, we are using the Mystical Shaman Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. It is quickly becoming one of my favorite decks. And the reason that we're doing this is because Chiron is the archetype of the shaman, the wounded healer, or the alchemist, right? And so Chiron, is what we call the key to the chart. It literally looks like a key. It looks like it has a K and a little circle on the bottom of the K. And it is the rainbow bridge between the inner planets, the more personal part of the ego, and the outer planets, like the more generational astrology, like why you came in with the group that you came in and what is your bigger purpose, right, outside of your own personal purpose. Now, the sun is going to oppose all of the planets in Capricorn. The sun is your spirit. It's why you incarnated here. So it's really going to start to be a big reveal this week as more planets are going direct. And, Mars is moving through Aries, really shining a light on Chiron retrograde over the next couple of days as it comes into conjunction at 9 degrees retrograde. Okay. So this is a lot about messages, especially with Mercury stationing direct in Cancer, which is about the emotional body. All right. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you chose the left, then you got Counsel. Okay. A lot of my clients have been getting this one right here. If you chose the center, you got the Blade, which is a serious carving away of karma. And if you got the right, then you got the Curse. Okay. Now, this is just my basic. If you are interested in the deeper understanding of the Mystic Musings, feel free to join my coven, Wild Hearts Coven at Patreon at the $33 tier, or you can join the Wild Beloved one, which is $11, and you get somewhere around 3 to 4 of these a month, and different things like that. Just go to my Patreon /Lauren Wild, and you'll learn more about that. Okay. All right. So let's go to Counsel. I'll read this to you guys. All right, if you chose Counsel, the Counsel are luminous beings who hold the collective wisdom of humanity. They are the ones before you whom will do your life review when you cross into the world of spirit. A life review is when we place our good and bad deeds on a divine scale and attempt to explain why we did not love or forgive or dare as greatly as we may have. Know that their wisdom is available to you at all times when you live in a state of yes, in an unconditional relationship with life. They remind you of your place around a sacred fire, which has been reserved for you since the beginning of time. You will claim it when you own your own inner wisdom. The Counsel has a message for you. It says, listen with your inner senses. The handwriting is already on the wall. So look about you and you will discern its meaning. Do not wait for further signs. Embark on the journey to love deeply, forgive sincerely, and dare greatly. Take the leap without requiring life to assure you of this success. The medicine message here is you are never alone. It is time to turn to the inner counsel and find the guidance that you seek. Listen to that voice that arises spontaneously and turn a deaf ear to the nagging voice from your ego that tells you you are not enough or you're not up for the task before you. Create a spiritual feast for the council. Invite them to the altar every time you pray or meditate. Okay? So that is for those that chose the left. That is your message for the next 5 to 6 months, is to connect with this deep well of your ancestral lineage, as well as with spirit, because it is really trying to guide you away from fear, which is the ego, and self-sabotage and believing you're not capable of doing it, and really, really showing you that you are. Okay. Now, if you chose the middle, you got blade. All right. So the blade represents the sharpness of mind, body, and spirit. Pointing upward, it summons the power of heaven. When aimed down to the ground, it anchors the power of the heavens on earth. The blade can be a healing tool or a weapon. Wield it wisely, and it will transmit power. Bestow initiations, cut energetic cords from the past, or sever toxic relationships. Use it with anger, and it will slash, stab, and kill. You are being invited to draw your blade and use it. It is not auspicious to hesitate, to waste time in idle talk, or to hide from the inevitable. Heaven and earth are aligned to support you in claiming your power, so take decisive action. Overcome your fear of hurting others and unsheath the blade and use it wisely. Your medicine message is it's time to put down the sword and place it back into the scabbard. Do not offer your blade in service to toxic emotions, or you will be faced with even more disagreeable future with people or situations you're attempting to banish. Put the blade to rest until your inner fire has mellowed. Then use your blade with impeccable intention to cut the energetic cords that are tying you to the drama at hand. Set yourself free. So my teacher, Danielle Dolsky, told me you never cut cords or do any hexing work or anything like that when your anger is above a 7. You have to drop it down to at least a 7 or a 6 in order for it to be done consciously and mindfully. Otherwise, you really do, set yourself up for it being reflected back at yourself. So it's about consciousness, using the blade wisely. Let it sharpen your mind and your senses first, and then make your choices. Okay. So if you chose the blade for the next 6 months, this is about understanding that this is a lot about stepping into wisdom and sharpening your mind, your body, and your spirit over the next 5 to 6 months. Okay. All right. And last but not least, if you chose the right, you got the curse, okay, which is 14. Sorry, that is my dishwasher. All right. So if you chose the right, then the curse refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma from former lifetimes that preordains the events of our lives. It is the source of negative patterns, and it can show up as a disease, a destructive force, or a blockage on our creative energy. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality, recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life and that we can heal it. Oh my gosh. If you got this one, that's amazing. This is like the thing that you're going to heal over the next 6 months. The invitation is that it is time to recognize the source of your limitations. Did your grandparents live with this mindset of scarcity? Did you inherit genes for the heart disease? Were you a slave or a master in a past life? This karmic legacy is ready and waiting to be seen, to be untangled and be released. Honor the players and their stories. Forgive everyone and everything, and craft a new life course for yourself. The medicine message is be careful and aware of your own actions. Act with impeccable intention so as to not create debt or karma that sooner or later someone has to pay. What you do to others, you also do to yourself and the people you love the most. Now is the opportunity to clean it up. Okay, so if you chose this, the curse, then this tells me that you are doing a lot of lineage repair, ancestor work, right? And that is really, really heavy stuff. If you are interested in connecting with your most well-aligned ancestor, check out my most well-aligned. I'm trying to remember how I call it anymore. It's like a meeting your ancestor session. And I'll have that up on my website, thechurchwitch.com. Those will be coming out after the new moon in Cancer. But essentially, this is about working your ancestral line. Check out the book Ancestral Healing by Daniel Four. And then go to his Instagram and his website. He is like definitely the forerunner of bringing practical animism into the world. Also, you can read Soulcraft by Bill Plotkin. But essentially, you're stepping into ancestral lineage repair. You might be healing things that you didn't even do. Your ancestors might have done it. But it's important to understand that anytime that you heal something within your ancestry, you are freeing your line 4 generations back and 4 generations into the future. Okay. That's all I've got for you guys today. If you are the Wild Beloved Patreon tier up, the extended will be up shortly. I will share it as soon as it's done. Okay. Y'all have a great week. Thanks. Bye.